and soul of this Louisville Cardinals team.
We are ready for match number 2 on night number 1 of the season. Louisville in white, Wisconsin in red. And the first serve of the season for Louisville is in the air. And it's delivered by a freshman. And the first point goes to Louisville. Nelly's Cabello, the freshman, getting the first serve of the season for the Cardinals. And she'll get the second serve. Kong for Scott. Charity Looper. Carter Booth kept it alive for the moment. Cabello goes a long way to Looper, sent back, and a Smrek at the net for Wisconsin.
Charity Looper trying to put that ball away in transition, but Carter Booth, 6'7", and Anna Smrek, too big for Wisconsin.
It's going to be interesting to see how Louisville manages the sheer height of Wisconsin's front row players. 6'9", 6'7", 6'6". They're a really tall group.
How would you handle the height?
Hitter coverage, very important.
Kong set Cabello, and then put in, and Wisconsin gets their second point.
And Charlie Furbringer, number 24 in red for Wisconsin. She is the freshman running the offense for Wisconsin.
2 freshman setters on the court right now in this matchup. Here's the Louisville freshman. Furbringer with a quick set and a good early connection shown by that freshman setter.
Really nice job there by Carter Booth, getting up early. She's so high at 6'7", as we mentioned. Nice job by Furbringer, getting her middles involved here early and often. That's such a difficult attack to defend.
Julia Orgel delivers for Wisconsin on top 3-1. There's a swing, and that one is off the mark, and Wisconsin on a run here. 4 straight points for the Badgers. Kelly Sheffield's team ranked 3rd in the ABCA preseason poll. 30 wins a season ago, 17 coming in Big Ten play. They were second to Nebraska. Last year was Wisconsin's 6th trip to the national semifinals, the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. That's how good they have been. Here is Smrek, and it is all Wisconsin at the moment.
Anna Smrek didn't have the perfectly located set, but with her high contact point, able to work it through the block for Wisconsin.
How about the run by Orgel? 5 straight points now for Wisconsin. Orgel with the ace, and she is locked in right now.
And going at Anna DeBeer, one of the best 6 rotation players in the country, back-to-back points from the service line.
Early timeout called by Danny Busboom Kelly. Her team down by 5 first set.
At Jimmy John's, just $10 gets you a full 8 inches of any original sandwich, Jimmy chips, drink, and a dessert. It's a deal so good, we didn't have to spend a lot on this ad. Oh, but we could afford confetti. Order the $10 total package meal only at Jimmy John's.
There are men coming here to kill you.
Give up the girl, or he'll send every killer in the city after you.
You are an assassin? Are you trying to save her?
Surprising.
The Killer, rated R.
We just signed the lease on our 3rd shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to CustomInk.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our Custom Ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInk.com.
Back inside the KFC Yum Center in downtown Louisville, Wisconsin. A good start, and it's a run at the service line by Julia Orgel, the junior from Poland, who did not play in Wisconsin's exhibition game because of an ankle sprain. But she has been locked in, had 37 aces a season ago to lead Wisconsin. It sounded like, talking to Kelly Sheffield, she was going to be in just the DS role tonight as she works back into the lineup.
Yes, and Kelly Sheffield told us that serving was going to be a big focus for his team this year, and they came out of the gates hot.
Worth noting that Orgeol was so pivotal in Wisconsin's run a year ago. She actually didn't play in the front row. She became their libero and did a heck of a job, so she's an extremely versatile player.
Wisconsin ends the run, and here is Charity Looper to serve. Second season with Louisville. Standing year last year. Big swing, defended well by Louisville, denying Carter Booth of a point. Little off balance, but it works out for the point.
So Anna Smrek's 6'9", right? She goes and she attacks. That ball hits the tape. I think a common misconception as a blocker is when you've got somebody so big in front of you, you have to reach really, really high to try to maximize instead of just pressing over the net. Had Louisville's blockers pressed over and sealed the net, they would have gotten a block there.
Here's a little wrinkle here. The first we've seen, and this is something to watch for. I don't know if a lot of teams are going to do it. Gulce Guchtikin comes on the serve. She's in the libero sweater, but we just saw Sage Damro on the court in the libero jersey, and this is a new rule for 2024.
Kelly Sheffield told us he wanted to experiment with the two liberos. They've got a serve-receive libero number 3 in white right now, and when they are serving, you'll see Gulce Guchtikin come in and be that serving defensive bro.
So you can see right on cue, here comes Damro back in on serve-receive. Franklin is denied. The block there for Louisville.
Maldonado Diaz, solo block number 6 in white. She is new to the Louisville team. Played the last few years at the University of Arizona, but she is a player who can score on that right side.
4-year starter for Arizona. 7th in the Pac-12 last year with 3.5 kills a set. And now Louisville pushing back against Wisconsin.
Starts at the service line by Elena Scott. Really nice serve, puts the pressure on Wisconsin's receivers. Can't quite control it, which leads to Kara Cressy getting the overkill pass.
Scott with the dig. Scott bumps it over. Franklin finds the opening.
Off speed right through the seam. Good eye work by Sarah Franklin to see that hole in the block, and little finesse shot works for her.
Franklin suffered an ankle injury in June. Sheffield says she's not quite at 100% yet, but Sarah Franklin at less than 100% is still pretty good. Maldonado Diaz with Robinson at the net for the block for Wisconsin.
That transition set by Elena Scott, in my opinion, a little bit too far inside. And Maldonado Diaz doesn't have a lot of room to work around that block.
Little too much on that serve from Anna Smrek. Point goes to Louisville. One thing we're watching here, and now here's what is different for Louisville this year, as they are playing a 6-2 instead of a 5-1.
It's the first time Danny Busboom Kelly has gone to a 6-2 since 2019. Louisville tried it then with their personnel, and it wasn't successful. She believes she has enough pin hitters, enough talent, enough depth to be able to try a 6-2 with her 2 setters. So a setter will be in the back row at all times. You will see 3 attackers in the front row at all times as well.
Cabello gives way to Ellie Glock, who was the primary setter a season ago, second team all-conference in the ACC for the Cards. Quick attack for Wisconsin's Robinson for the kill.
And Charlie Furbringer, the freshman setter we talked about, feeding those hitters. Devin Robinson, so good off one foot. One-on-one on the right side.
And I think what's been impressive is oftentimes with a young setter, they can rely heavily on the pins, at least early in a match. And you've seen Furbringer really go after her middles quite a bit here. Shows she's confident to set tight sets, low sets, fast sets. She's got an arsenal at her disposal.
Sarah Franklin back to serve. Anna DeBeer has been quiet so far, blocked out of play, and DeBeer has her first point. Part of the reason that Anna DeBeer came back for this final year with Louisville was the opportunity to play here in the KFC Yum Center. Most importantly, try to play here in December when the national championship weekend is here in Louisville at the Yum Center for a second time. Furbringer goes back. Well, she is spreading the wealth so far, as you pointed out. The freshman, highly touted from Hermosa Beach. One of the nation's top recruits, stepping right into that lead center role for Wisconsin.
And if you see on that replay, Charlie Furbringer looks at the other side of the net, realizes who the shortest blocker on the court is, and goes right after her, going after Charity Looper of Louisville.
That's returned by Louisville's defense, and the Cards get the point.
Louisville has hung their hat on blocking for many seasons now with Danny Busboom-Kelly at the helm. I don't think that their blocking has been on point here early in set one, but a really nice job by all three front row players. Heads up, recognizing that ball was going to be fed to the middle, and they all jumped together.
Furbringer got there, but unable to do anything with it is the freshman making her collegiate debut today, Trinity Shad Series. 11-9.
You hear the reaction from the crowd here at the KFC Home Center. They just showed on the big Jumbotron Peyton Siva, who won a national championship with the men's basketball team in 2013, a fan favorite in these parts.
Cressy will check out as Wisconsin sides out. Well, you two heard all the great things that Kelly Sheffield said about his freshman setter, Charlie Furbringer. What are some of the things that we should be watching for in her game? What makes her special and different here for this Wisconsin team?
Well, do you have a few minutes? Because she grew up.
We've got 5 potential sets here.
She grew up in the gym. I mean, her mother won an NCAA title in 1993, Joy Mackenzie Furbringer. Her father won one at Stanford in 1997, Matt Furbringer. And they've been running a club her entire life, the Mizuno Volleyball Club. And she's just grown up learning, watching film, and being around volleyball. And she's got a high volleyball IQ. Her coach, Kelly Sheffield, said, look, she's like Magic Johnson. You cannot relax. You have to run your routes and be ready for the ball at any time.
Wisconsin in control for the moment. Looper with a much-needed kill for Louisville.
Great elevation from Charity Looper on that outside pin. She goes up, attacks high over the block, and places that ball deep corner, cross court.
So now Danny Busboom-Kelly will talk to one of her setters, Ellie Glock, who comes out as the other one, Nelly's Cabello from Claremont, Florida, comes on. Oh, great save. Said that a time or two during Elena Scott's career. Great save. Looper. Point Louisville. Their best of the match so far.
And that's Louisville volleyball, right? Quick transition. They're so fast on the pins. Charity Looper, number 4 in white, just explodes off the floor.
Helpful that they finally got a nice block touch at the net to slow down the attack from Wisconsin so they could play out of it.
And then a service error will end the momentum for the Cardinals for the moment. So Guchkin is on for Wisconsin. Orgel will come on to serve. Orgel was part of that 5-0 run earlier in this first set that gave Wisconsin a lead. On top by 4 here in set 1. Off the block, Smrek was there. I don't know if you're going to go over Anna Smrek. If you can't go over, how do you attack a 6'9" player at the net?
Go into her as hard as you can and hope that you're able to tool the block. Nice job by the setter here, jump setting a tight ball to hold the middle, and then she had a one-on-one against Smrek.
In using the edges of that block, especially when you've got a large surface area to attack.
Nice catch.
Katie wasn't saying that to me. It was someone
No, of course not.
in the first row. I wouldn't receive such praise. 16-12 for the Badgers. DeBeer. Again, brought a lot of pace right at the block. And with Robinson and Spreck there, they couldn't do much with it.
Well, you can be a big block, but if you're not over on the opponent's side of the net, you're not going to be effective. And that time, Wisconsin's block was late to press.
Scott sets it back for DeBeer off the net. DeBeer.
Great rally.
DeBeer. Oh, but it's not DeBeer in the end who's celebrating. It's Spreck at the net with the block.
That time, Anna Spreck was much more disciplined with her press. Transition ball here. Looked like it dies inside. And Anna Spreck all over Anna DeBeer there.
Miss hit from the right side by Maldonado Diaz. Point Wisconsin.
And something worth keeping in mind, the longer a rally goes on against Wisconsin, your vertical, your jumps start to lower, right, over time. When you're 6'9", you're not really having to jump a whole heck of a lot and still be high over the net. That's why Spreck was able to get that block against Anna DeBeer.
So timeout called here by Louisville. You see Kelly Sheffield in a conversation right now. Let's take you back just a few moments. The previous timeout, this is what he said in the huddle. We have him mic'd up here tonight.
Not sure if they're in a 5-1 or 6-2. That'll be something that you'll want to kind of be aware of when they're going through there. Great job of putting pressure. They've gone from stack or spread, so we're going to be aware of that. Right side blockers probably have a 5 coming in there. So being balanced, you've got time to get to both tempos if they're over there in a stack. If they're in a stack, you've got to go in the 5 and just get in there. So, all right, here we go.
Well, it begins what we talked about, whether or not Louisville was going to be in a 5-1 or 6-2, so he alerted his team to be aware of that, and that happened out of that timeout for Louisville, as Katie mentioned, doing it for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, it's important as blockers to make sure you identify your hitters and be aware of the type of offense they're running. He also said to identify the stacks and how he wanted to defend them.
Awesome access in this opening night. All 4 head coaches wearing microphones so we can listen in from time to time. We've let everybody know we have the best delay system in place just in case, not just playing back a replay, but if you hear something in real time. And to hear from the players during the warm-up was really cool. Anna DeBeer and Sarah Franklin between these 2 matches here tonight. So we thank everybody for the access to take us onto the court. I've just been told the delay system may not be working. So should I go over there and tell them?
No, you should not. That's live TV,
Absolutely
baby.
not.
I did tell, I don't remember which coach. Don't worry, we've got a delay. Oh, really? Great. I can't remember. So I did, well, we've got our best people keeping track of it.
If anybody needs it, it's probably Kelly Sheffield or John
Agreed.
Cook from Nebraska. So he got out in the clear. Nice job by Devin Robinson. She's the more offensive middle on this roster, but a heck of a defender as well. They're anchoring this block.
I loved Devin Robinson's game for Wisconsin. She's so versatile. She's been playing on the right side the last few years, but she can run quick. She can block anywhere, and she's in there because she's really good off 1 foot as well. But you see the defensive shutdown in the middle there.
Wisconsin has a lot of depth in the middle.
Yes.
Think back to the national semifinal, the finals that we saw in the NCAA tournament. Cece Crawford was a name that we saw a lot. She was massive for Wisconsin. But when you've got 3 really capable middle blockers, tough decisions are made. And tonight, game 1 for Kelly Sheffield, he's gone with Devin Robinson and Carter Booth in the middle.
De Beer. Oh, Devin Robinson hanging in the air to get the point.
Talk about hang time. I mean, she's on her way down. Anna De Beer's trying to place a tip over the top of her, and with that arm, she's able to just still hang, and at the last second, throw down.
Oh, there's the setter, the freshman, Furbringer, with the sneak attack. All Wisconsin right now.
Charlie Furbringer able to call her own number in transition, identifies no blocker on her, throws it down in the middle. Beautiful Wisconsin point.
Well, the Schumacher's on for Wisconsin as well, getting some time here in the first set. Cressy on the slide, Franklin with the dig. And then the back row attack from Franklin. Tight at the net.
Nice job by De Beer getting in there, not letting that second contact go over the net, which would have resulted in a double contact.
Block to De Beer for the point.
I like that set location by Ellie Glock, number 5. She gets Anna De Beer a little bit more elevation, and she just pops off the floor and works the outside edge of the block.
It's interesting, when you run a 6-2, you have to be very careful about which hitters you put with which setter. Obviously, Ellie Glock ran a 5-1 last season for Louisville, so she has a really good chemistry with Anna De Beer, knows exactly how she likes it on that outside pin. Not surprising that they spend the most time together on the court.
De Beer serves to Franklin. That one's going to be off the mark. Looper says it was touched. I think Danny Busboom-Kelly is going to go to the challenge here.
Charity Looper, pretty sure they got a piece.
Replay on. Glock sets it for Looper. No doubt this time. Charity Looper left no doubt with the kill.
A nice job by Charity Looper, nailing that pass and serve receive, almost taking and carrying her momentum with her into her approach, where she's able to get so high off the ground. I mean, her hops, the dynamic ability that she's got, is really impressive.
Camden Schran comes on to serve for the Cardinals. Franklin finds the opening for the kill. Point Wisconsin, 2 points away from taking set 1.
Furbringer has been impressive.
She has, and I like her choices, making some really nice choices. She takes pride in isolating her hitters one-on-one. She's from my local high school. I've heard about her ever since she was in kindergarten, basically. And that's what she takes pride in, isolating her hitters one-on-one, and she's been really good at that.
Hang on, kindergarten?
Well, she was 8, so 3rd grade.
Wait, 3rd grade?
Correct.
That's off hands, and Wisconsin has a set point here in set 1.
Louisville, a really strong attacking team, hitting 0-28 for the set at the moment.
It's a combination of the tough serving from Wisconsin and obviously the big block.
Well, Wisconsin last year was first in Division I in blocks per set at 3%. Reese Robbins gets a kill to keep the set going. Cabello will come on and try to go on an epic service run here, intercollegiate debut. Set point number 2 for Wisconsin. Furbringer it with the set to Smrek. Louisville there defensively. Maldonado Diaz. They say there was a touch, so the point goes to the Cards.
During that transition series, Anna Smrek was left in the middle. Carter Booth stayed on the right side. But Anna Smrek, that's what she did as a freshman, earning that most outstanding player in the championship game.
Nice save. Louisville called in the net.
And that's how the first set will end. So the Cards in the net, Wisconsin 25-18 in set number 1. Impressive start for the Badgers. They held Louisville to 0-77 hitting in set 1. Set 2 straight ahead.
College volleyball is brought to you by Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches.
Welcome to the American Volleyball Coaches Association, where champions are made. Join a community of more than 10,000 volleyball coaches from all levels of the sport and take part in premier events like the AVCA Convention, which is held each December.
It's a mix in some A's and B's. They're going to shift over there toward the B, but if we're getting it high, you can get up over those guys. So I'd like you to look more B than on the go if you're sitting the middle that way.
A lot of chit-chat you have with your head coach when you're the starting setter of a great program. Charlie Furbinger, I think, has been so impressive in set 1. As a true freshman, you wonder, they're going to be a little jitters, a little nerves. She looks comfortable. She looks confident. And I know that you got to feel good when you have all the weapons around her that she does. But very impressive start in her, what's going to be, I'm sure, an amazing career at Wisconsin.
Correct. And Matt Furbinger, her father, was the assistant coach for the men's national team, men's Olympic team. And they were able to bring home a medal. But, I mean, she's just grown up in the gym. High volleyball IQ. She's been setting players older than her for a long time. I don't think this stage scares her.
Nothing new.
Nope.
And as we saw last year, you should never be afraid if the freshmen can play at the center position that they can't lead you to a national championship game, because last year's national champ showdown was a matchup of 2 freshman centers.
And they both did an excellent job in those deep tournament runs. But Wisconsin has also utilized a true freshman setter before. Lauren Carlini was an excellent setter. Sydney Hilly had a lot of success. Nothing new for Kelly Sheffield working with a true young freshman setter.
Reese Robbins for Louisville, showing her versatility, quick attack out of the middle. You will mostly see her on the right side, but she can hit that quick ball as well.
DeBeer serves. Free ball and a point. Cressy, 2-0 Louisville. I know you both paid attention to what Danny Busboom-Kelly told her team at Serve and Pass this morning. And the phrase I heard was, let it rip, because they're playing here at home and she wanted them to play with passion and soak up this moment. I think that was lacking in that first set.
She also said, have a blast. This is meant to be fun. I mean, what a massive stage, what a massive moment for college volleyball to have the AVCA First Serve Showcase here with 4 top 10 teams. Enjoy it, because this kind of opportunity doesn't come around often, and it felt like Louisville seemed uncomfortable and nervous in set 1.
Well, they've got some young new players on the court in important positions, and there's no lead up. You're just boom, you're playing Wisconsin, and that's a huge task. So I think they'll settle in this second set.
Anna DeBeer calling out Devaney McClarty. Checking something, maybe a little something stuck on the floor. Did somebody lose their gum and it's stuck on the Terraflex? Oh no. I think when he was assigned the job of towel boy, it was not in the job description that you would have to pick somebody's gum off the court. This is a valuable life lesson right here. You need to know the full job description before you say yes.
Was this in the fine print? Was this in the fine print when he signed on the dotted line?
He's 4 fingers in. He's got 6 left to catch all the
He's a team player. Do whatever it takes. Get the job done. Love that kid.
I'm waiting for him to turn around.
What? He's like, I need to run to the restroom and I need lots of soap.
Well, if it's who I think it is, that's Sarah Drury Petkovic's son, Beckett Petkovic. Sarah played for the national team. Her husband was a wrestler for the U.S. national team. That's where they met at the Olympic Village.
Hey, you know what? He doesn't want, oh, look at the face. He's like, yuck. I love his commitment, though. He is not going to leave the arena. He could have run back to the restroom and cleaned up, but he's just getting water and just doing a little soak here.
Could you have played chewing gum?
No. Never.
As much as we're talking and yelling.
Apparently someone else can't do it either, and they shouldn't have.
Oh, look, we got some sanitizer. Lovely.
All right, good. And now he's back in position.
Good job, Jen Hoffman. Good looking out.
Did you say that's Sarah's son? We've been coming here doing matches for several years. When did he get so big?
I know.
What happened?
We're getting old. We're getting old, buddy.
Don't blink, Eric.
All right, so this is a first because we have a...
It's usually blood, not gum.
That was definitely gum. I think we got it all. Hope we got it all. Good teamwork. Everybody staying loose. That was shorter than our out-of-rotation delay for match number 1.
And we're back.
And better than ever. Orgel serving. Robbins. Berbinger with the dig. Robbins just got caught in between, and it's a point for Wisconsin.
Transition setting is so important. Your team digs the ball. You want to put up a hittable ball, and Reese Robbins needs to work to get her feet behind that ball, get it on the other side of the net.
Orgel misses the mark this time. Service error for Wisconsin. Louisville back in front. 10th meeting all time between the Cards and the Badgers. Wisconsin winning 8 of the first 9 meetings. They last met in Columbus, NCAA National Semifinal in 2021. Wisconsin won that unforgettable match in 5, the Cards' only loss of the season. Ball still up. Not for long. Spreck thought for sure it was touch. She is making a convincing argument to Kelly Sheffield. And he will go to the green card.
So his coaching staff's telling him that ball was down where Louisville pancaked it and kept the ball in play. His players on the court are telling him there was a touch on the block.
Looks like they challenged the touch.
So they're challenging the touch. If you weren't with us for our first match, they are using Bolt 6 technology to review in and out calls, so we don't have line judges here. We also have looks at our replay, and that looks like a finger bends back here.
Correct.
And that is without using the high frame rate Bolt 6 look, which is what you'll see right here.
Pointer finger got it.
Yep. So you saw that finger bounce back from the net look. So I think that first look was pretty good. And that was looking over to the bench saying there was a touch there. So the Bolt 6 replay review used tonight in this event. No line judges. We've got cameras sprinkled throughout the court to shoot the lines and also up at the net.
I've been really impressed. I feel like it's expedited a lot of these calls, a lot of these challenges, and seeing the in and out calls in real time has been awesome.
Orgel, good dig. And that is out of play. Franklin off the mark. Point for Louisville. They'll be using the Hawkeye technology in the SEC this year, so we're seeing more and more use of it. We've seen, obviously, international and the Olympic competition most recently in Paris.
Yeah, I really enjoy Bolt 6, how fast you are in terms of calling in and out. And you can't challenge in and out calls anymore because it's electronically monitored.
All in the interest of getting the call right, but also just keeping play moving. That's the great thing about volleyball. It moves at such a fast pace. You don't want to lose the momentum for the interest in the sport and the momentum that's always on the court.
They're also considering using a serve clock, much like a pitch clock that we see in college baseball and MLB. That should expedite the game as well if they move to that. What you can't account for is out of rotations and gum being on the floor.
The gum.
Good point.
They are experimenting with the serve clock here. It is not being enforced, but it is here just to give everybody in the building and those on the court a little feel for keeping things moving. Furbringer to Franklin. Oh, tipped over. Nicely done by Maldonado Diaz.
Nice job by Maldonado Diaz to recognize that you have Anna Smret in right back to place a tip right in front of her, just outside of her reach. That's just good awareness of knowing who's in the back row at a given point.
5-4 for the Cards, and Looper back to serve. Furbringer goes the long way to Franklin. Good attack there. Great pass by the freshman, and Franklin knows what to do with it. Point Wisconsin.
Charlie Furbringer is well behind that 3-meter line. Look at her get around and push that ball out. Really good location for Sarah Franklin to go to work.
Franklin back to serve. Last year's AVCA National Player of the Year. And on the overpass, Wisconsin will reset. Franklin back row attack. Furbringer to Robinson down the line for the kill.
I love that Charlie Furbringer attacks as if she's going to take this ball over the net, and in turn, she backs off and sets Devin Robinson. Watch her here. She goes to attack. Nope. Zip. Gonna set that ball. Robinson's gonna put down the kill down the line.
And that isolates our hitter on the right side. Great heads-up play.
Stick-in got a piece of it, but it's a point for Louisville.
Good job by Cabello there, working the middle. You talked about this in match 1, Holly. The more you can get the middle involved, the more dynamic of an offense you're able to run. Good job by Cabello there, getting Kong involved.
Gron Kong back to serve. Grad student from South Dakota. Led the team in blocks per set last year. Trying to get it done from the service line. Cannot. Point Wisconsin. Here's Devin Robinson. Point Louisville. Ellie Glock will give it a shot from the service line. Katie, your thoughts?
Someone please serve the ball inbounds.
Is this where you go to the underhand serve, like in gym class?
Never, never. No lollipops. Oh, wow.
You were saying?
Holly?
I'm speechless for the first time. Speechless.
It took 4 straight service errors for you to be speechless?
Well, yes.
We know where the threshold is. Oh, Anna DeBeer. She knows what's on the line here. Yes. Back to business.
Oh, nice. Nice up. What a kill, too. Or what a hit.
Well, after some sloppy play from the service line, we were rewarded with a pretty good point. That goes to Wisconsin.
Anna Smrek again stays in the middle in transition, and Charlie Furbringer very comfortable getting her that ball. And you think 6'9" middle blocker, it'd be easy to set, but you also have to get the ball high and fast enough. It's tricky.
I think it'd be one of the more difficult sets to make.
Agreed.
Yes, you want to get it to her fast, but you still have to get it up high for her so she can go over top of blocks.
Cressy, the middle with the kill for Louisville.
I'd love to see the middles for Louisville get involved more. Kara Cressy can be dangerous offensively if they can get her going more.
Furbringer with a quick set to Carter Booth for the point.
Really nice job by Furbringer. Again, we've seen back-to-back-to-back kills from the middle on both sides. Booth just gets up real fast on that gap 31 set, whatever you'd like to call it, where she just moves a little bit away from the setter, takes her blocker with her. Really nice job.
Kuchtikin serves for Wisconsin. Another service error. It's been a bit of a challenge for these two teams here in this second set.
We haven't talked about the two liberos. What do you guys think so far?
It's interesting because he feels like having a defensive specialist and then having a receiving specialist is the way to go, where if you talk to other coaches, like Danny Busboom-Kelly said, two liberos doesn't make any sense for us because we need to be able to utilize our DSs. Craig Skinner in match one, he felt the same way. So I'll be curious to see how many coaches across the country turn to the two libero rule that they're now allowed to utilize.
You have to have depth in that position.
What are the cons of two liberos?
For me, thinking as a player, continuity on the court. You're coming on and off the court every other play. I just want to be out on the court the whole time.
But you were both setters. Is it a challenge for the setters as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
How so?
I also think you gain a lot of confidence and calmness with certain players being out on the floor with you, right? And I think one of the biggest relationships, one of the most important relationships, is between a libero and the setter. The libero is the backcourt leader, the setter is the full court leader, and those two work hand in hand, right? Serve, receive, digs, go straight to the setter. And I feel like having your person leave the court and then come back on would be somewhat of a disruption just in terms of your mentality of having your comfort level be at a certain place.
But Kelly Sheffield asked his team and they said, oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. And I think it depends on your personnel. It depends on the comfort of your setter. And it seems like Furbringer's comfortable with anything.
I was going to say, I don't sense her being an uncomfortable, that California cool, uncomfortable type of person. Sarah Franklin.
Serving woes continue.
Back to Robinson and off the block of DeBeer. Point Wisconsin.
Beautiful transition set. Charlie Furbringer pushes that ball out wide enough so Devin Robinson can work inside the seam between left side and middle blocker.
Devin Robinson having a really nice start to this match as well. 4 kills, 0 errors, 6 attempts, hitting .667.
Good save by Robinson. Keep the point alive for Wisconsin. And that one will go long. It's a point for the Cards.
There's Devin Robinson's parents in the stands, making the trip in to Louisville, Kentucky to watch their daughter play. This is her 5th season with Wisconsin, hoping to go out on top.
Co-captain for this team, Booth with the kill for Wisconsin.
When we talked to Kelly Sheffield, he talked about the creativity of the offense. When you run a 5-1, there's so much more you can do. You're not so limited to just the 3 hitters and where you can hit. You can run X plays. You can do all sorts of things. And that's one of the strengths of Charlie Furbringer as a setter, according to Kelly Sheffield.
And, you know, this is such a learning period for all of these teams playing, right? Non-conference is a learning and feel-out period. And I'll be curious once we talk to Danny Busboom-Kelly when they get into ACC play, what she thinks of the 6-2. Are they still even in the 6-2 by that point?
Good point, but this is the time to try it,
Absolutely.
Right? Learn now,
especially
and then
against
build
one
on
of the best teams in the country. See what you like and don't like about it, and if it's worth continuing to utilize.
Well, we saw Wisconsin, they used the 6-2 the last 2 years with their co-captains, MJ Hamill, Izzy Ashburn as the setters, and now do a 5-1 this year. You saw Furbringer already with 20 assists as we play here in set 2. And Louisville gets to 15 here in this second set. Cards trying to build a little momentum here on their home floor. by 1, set 2.
Well, Patrick, it's official.
You're the league's most valuable bundler.
The go B, I think, is more set up for the B. I like the set there, or back behind. But if you're wanting to get on the go, then keep the middle on an A, okay, to give them some. But or if you're wanting to, if you're going to go B, you got to make sure that your hitters can get on it high, because that the block is there. Frank can get up and over that. But we're on the go B, you're rushing that a little bit, and she's having to kind of hit there. But if you want to set over the quick to her, then get that up for her. If it's Trinity, she's going to need the hole to get it.
I love getting to hear these conversations between Kelly Sheffield and Charlie Furbringer. We mentioned it earlier. You've got such large and tall attackers that get up high. You don't need to rush it and put them in a closet. You got to be able to get them up high enough so that they can go attack at the highest point of contact.
Out of the media timeout, Reese Robbins. And it's a point off the touch for Louisville. Well, it just feels like class is in session, right? Because you can practice and you can do a lot of things against your teammates in practice or a scrimmage, but you get into a game and you have this data that is happening in real time. So when you come off the court, it's like, okay, here's what I'm seeing. And that's been a constant theme that we've seen between those two. Wisconsin, here comes Louisville.
Defensively, Louisville's done a better job knowing that Charlie Furbringer likes to run that middle. And look at Reese Robbins come in and help. Kara Cressy also ready for Charlie Furbringer to run that ball to Smrek.
Aiko Jones was a large part of Louisville's success over many years as a right side hitter. She graduated, she moved on. Reese Robbins came in last year during the NCAA tournament in big moments and provided production, but she's also super energetic, and so she can swing momentum by her energy that she brings to the court, and you're seeing that with the partnership in Kara Cressy.
Now Robbins 19 kills and 15 sets during the NCAA tournament last year, and now a timeout called by Wisconsin because Wisconsin has watched Louisville go on a 5-0 run to take an 18-14 lead here in the second set. While they talk, I can tell you about the big weekend of college football coming up, Labor Day weekend, and great college football. It starts Thursday night on ESPN, continues Friday night on ESPN, triple header Saturday on ABC. Katie will be on the field in the Swamp for that Miami-Florida showdown, and then Sunday is USC and LSU, all part of the big Labor Day weekend of college football. Let's go back one time out. Listen in on the Louisville Huddle and Danny Busboom Kelly.
Charity, if you're a little bit off the net, you still got to go for it. Okay? Or you got to try to jam it middle or something. Okay? So I want you to swing away.
We're doing some good things here.
Or jam away. You know, the roll shot deep, they're just all over it.
Defensively, we're doing some great things. Reese, great job by you. That's a great adjustment. She was not ready for you to be up on that. So again, that's their best option that we just shut down. This setter has range to set behind from really anywhere. And Sophia, you felt that on your right hip. When you're in right back, you have got to have a string with your right hip to that dog. You cannot get beat out there. It's going to fly off you. So again, this is going to be a big part of winning this set. If we can shut this down behind and start digging that, good things will happen.
This setter has the range to run almost anything, and that's pretty impressive. But for Louisville, they need to pay attention to that, so they stay home a little bit more disciplined defensively.
6-0 run. You heard Dan Meske, the longtime assistant for Danny Busboom Kelly. He's the one who came in with that further instruction for the team at the end of that timeout. And it's working because it's all Louisville right now. 6-0 run. Up by 5. Helps that Louisville's getting serves in as well. That was an issue the first part of the second set. Robbins. Robbins goes with the softer touch this time, and it works out better for Louisville.
And I love that Elena Scott went right back to to Reese Robbins. Her first swing, she had a lot of pop on it, and it was a great dig by Orgel of Wisconsin. But Elena Scott gets a recycled play. She goes right back to Reese Robbins, and what does she do? She just puts a little tip, mixes it up right over the block.
So now go ahead.
No, now you're seeing CeCe Crawford come in situationally here up in the middle for Wisconsin.
Crawford, longtime middle blocker for this Wisconsin team. Third season with the Badgers after 2 years with Kansas. Franklin. Well, that's another ascent for Furbringer. That was unlike some of the other ones she's had here today. Back to Franklin. Bumped it back and got the point.
Well, she's just so calm, right? That back bump said she grew up playing beach volleyball. She's got a fantastic all-around game and remains calm even when the pass gets them out of system.
21 assists now for the freshman. Oh! That got the crowd going here at the KFC Yum Center.
Okay, Cressy. Wow.
There are people on their feet, and for good reason. What a save by Ellie Glock. She goes up one hand, tight set, but she's able to bring it back so Kara Cressy can just absolutely smash that bang.
Louisville fans want to see a lot more of that.
And a lot less of that. Into the net, so point for Wisconsin. Louisville still in control for the moment here at the KFC Yum Center here in set number 2.
Anna DeBeer's serving run is proof pivotal for Louisville. Can you side out and get back to finishing this thing so you can tie it up one apiece going into intermission?
Buchtikin gives it back. Overall, service has been sloppy, to say the least, here in the second set. But DeBeer was the one who was clutch when they needed it and delivered from the service line.
It's almost unfortunate because it takes you out of rhythm, right? Both teams are trying to gain momentum at this moment, and a momentum killer is a missed serve.
Good serve from the freshman. Smrek. Point Wisconsin.
Anna Smrek going deep to that corner. Again, that high contact point. She's so rangy and tough to stop for Wisconsin on that right side.
Senior from Ontario will head back to serve now for the Badgers. Fourth service error this set for Wisconsin. Louisville with 8 service errors in this set. If I told you that Louisville had 8 service errors in a set and they were up 23-17, you'd probably laugh at me. But
yeah, I thought you were lying. But you would never do that.
A tough one for Franklin to handle. Cardinals have it. DeBeer. Point Louisville. Set point for the Cards.
Look at the true freshman Cabello getting after it. What a dig to keep this play alive. She ran up the right sideline. Open palm dig. Gets that ball up in play. Heck of a swing from DeBeer.
Looper serving for the set. And a point. It wasn't a hit down, it was just thrown down. And that's the call.
Agree with that. Did you feel like she lifted it?
Nothing we haven't seen tonight.
No, I mean, it was fast paced. It wasn't like it was up, down. Interesting.
All right. So Louisville takes set number 2, 25-17.
Here's that dig we were talking about. Cabello throws one arm at it. Elena Scott's able to set up Anna DeBeer, and she just chop shots this one down the line. Takes a little bit of speed off of it. Really nice mix-up.
Over to Christine with Danny Busboom-Kelly.
Coach, you guys lost the first set, won the second one. What was the difference? What did you guys have to adjust to get that second win?
You know, I just thought we settled in a little bit, but, you know, Wisconsin missed a ton of serves, so we're not taking that for granted and thinking that we're playing great all of a sudden. Get the ball to the players that are getting kills.
Have 5 players with 4 kills each. What is impressing you the most about your team offensively?
I think the newer players that haven't had a lot of playing time are really going for it. I mean, Reese Robbins and Sophia, they're swinging away.
All right, Danny and Christine, thank you very much. Danny Busboom-Kelly's team winning set 2. Set 3 to come after a brief intermission. We'll be back to Louisville in just a moment.
There's a place where dreams meet determination. In every challenge,
Back inside the KFC Yum Center. It's on. Crowd getting its intermission lights on as Wisconsin and Louisville are even at a set apiece. Sarah Franklin and Anna Smrek with 7 kills apiece for Wisconsin. Anna DeBeer with 5 kills to pace Louisville in that category. Louisville won that second set 25-17. And we mentioned the serving was more miss than hit for the two teams in that second set. Eric, Katie, and Holly back with you. And Danny Busboom-Kelly didn't seem thrilled with how her team was playing, but she's got to be thrilled with the end result. With all the mistakes that Wisconsin made, Louisville had to make sure they took advantage of it, and they did in that second set.
I don't think Louisville's played all that efficient so far, and if they were able to win set 2, I mean, they could take it to a couple more levels, so you got to feel good about that we were able to tie this thing up at 1 apiece, and we're not playing our best volleyball.
I don't think we've seen
either
best volleyball from either team.
No, it feels like opening night for both teams.
It does. Ways. Maybe 2 throwaway sets, fresh start.
Okay.
But two highlights, I think, in set 2 were the tandem that come in together in the front row, and that's Kara Cressy and Reese Robbins. Kara Cressy's hitting lights out.
She is 4 kills. I feel like she could have a bigger impact. Get her the ball more. You know, when you set middles, they start blocking better as well. So get her involved. And then Reese Robbins shows she can attack out of the middle. She's a big block defensively. You want to get her involved, get her going, and it starts with a good first contact.
Yeah, in order to continue to feed these two, and I love the energy that they have together, you've got to be able to pass well so that your setters, both Ellie Glock and Nailise Cabello, can get these two the ball. Reese Robbins got a good way about her. She's got a swagger, she's got an energy, she's been a spark plug coming off the bench for this Louisville team, and they need more of that moving forward.
Robbins with those 4 kills out of the middle. 9 assists for Ellie Glock, 7 for Cabello. Furbringer setting the pace with the 22 assists in the first 2 sets. 11 assists a set, excellent average for the freshman in their debut. Robbins thought it was down. It's not called down yet.
What a save.
Cressy, this one's down, and Louisville gets the first point of set 3.
And Louisville getting Kara Cressy going right from the start in transition. I like that.
A little low of a set, but heads up play by Kara Cressy just to tip that ball over, and good placement.
Ellie Glock ready to put it into play for the Cards. And Louisville was in the net. Anna DeBeer gives the who me look.
Danny Busboom-Kelly's standing up. She might challenge it.
Comes out to at least have the conversation.
Danny Busboom-Kelly asks what part netted. I think she said the back of her shirt, the bottom part.
That one goes long, and it's a point for Louisville. Here's Anna DeBeer. She's the one who settled things down from the service line. She was the most consistent one in that second set. Franklin with a big swing. Louisville ready for it. Great save by Glock. DeBeer with the over. Set back for Smrek. Blocked by Louisville. Great defense by the Cardinals.
Incredible defense here by Louisville just to keep this ball in play. But it finishes with a block from Charity Looper, and you see the swagger from the team.
Earlier in that play, Elena Scott just bodied up in that seam and just took it to keep the ball alive, and it ends up in a point.
There's nothing quite like when there's a massive seam in the block and you have a libero just step into it. No fear. Any body part will, I'll take any body part as long as the ball goes up.
Tied at the net, Cressy pulls it off for De Beer. Here's Looper. Robbins. Furbringer to Franklin. Good set in the kill by Sarah Franklin. Eighth kill for Franklin. That one floats wide. Another missed serve by Wisconsin. Well, Kelly Sheffield said he wanted his team to get more aggressive with the serve in 2024. Serve was not a big plus for this program, in his opinion, in the last 2 seasons. Smrek finds the opening, gets the point.
Anna Smrek catching the back line. She's been a favorite of Charlie Furbringer, whether she's hitting out of the middle or right side.
And that one is out. Again, no line judges here, so you're looking for the flag or the indication, but it's the R1 who's looking at a monitor for that instant feedback on this Bolt 6 system if the ball was in or on the line or out.
It's pretty remarkable how far the game has gone that now you have the instantaneous feedback that the ball is in or out.
Cabello.
Oh, what an angle. That is so sharp. She gets up so high, yes, out of system situation, but she goes inside both blockers, thumb down to hit that zone 4. That is such a difficult shot, Holly, to make.
Agreed. I love the offense, but how about the bump set on a dime that allows Sarah Franklin to deliver that kill?
Franklin with the serve. Cabello in stride, the swing and the kill by Maldonado Diaz.
I want to have some heat. Had a little heat to that. A little pace. From straight through the block. Carter Booth unable to close to Furbringer in time. Maldonado Diaz makes him pay.
That one floats long. Looper misses the serve. Point Wisconsin.
Would love to see Louisville right now try and get PK going out of the middle. Some kind of quick set. Put some pressure on Wisconsin's middle blockers.
They go outside to De Beer. Carter Booth down the line. Set up again by Furbringer. Point for the Badgers.
And you wonder in this rotation if you're Cabello, are they purposely going to Anna De Beer, not just because she's a lethal outside, but because she has Furbringer in front of her. And Furbringer, she's 5'11", she's not exactly undersized, but when you look across the net for Wisconsin, she is one of the smaller blockers.
Yes, but I still think establishing your middle can really open things up on the pin.
There is
Your wish is her command.
Thank you, Cabello.
Wish granted, Holly.
Yes. PK is long. She's got lots of range offensively. Good weapon out of the middle, and that holds the middle blocker a little bit more next time.
Scott with the serve. De Beer. Furbringer got there. Cabello. Maldonado Diaz sent back by Robinson. Maldonado Diaz sent back and then finished by Robinson.
Some really nice hitter coverage there to keep it alive, and you have to cover your hitters against a team like Wisconsin. That one, too much, and Devin Robinson just owning the net.
Devin Robinson's recovery is so quick. She goes up, she blocks, she's right back in position to make another one.
Robinson.
Again, Elena Scott sacrificing her body for her team. That ball was up, but nobody expected it. Not a perfect dig, but it was off the ground.
Somebody could have made a play.
Yeah, you would have slid under there.
In her younger days.
Yeah, not now.
Robinson, when you're hot, you're hot. Just keep feeding her.
Feels like the Devin Robinson show right now.
And Dan Meskey told the Louisville team, be ready for that quick middle gap set in transition. They need to make sure they're up and over the net to stop that ball.
Robinson up to 8 kills. Cabello to De Beer. De Beer again. Overpass, Furberger, long distance, point for Louisville.
And to be fair, impressive swing by Maldonado Diaz, because that ball was coming high and from a very far distance away. So to be able to track it and time it properly to get that kill on the overpass, really nicely done.
Ellie Glock on to serve. Robinson. Again, Louisville works the middle. They've had success with Robbins and now with Cressy.
I like it. You have to run that middle. It holds the middle blocker, and then once you've established that, the middle blocker has to think, hey, they might set the middle, and it gives them a little delay getting out to the pin to close.
Block with the floats. There's Furberger looking for the point. Now Robbins from the right side. Point for Wisconsin.
Really nice job by Trinity Shad-Series to be able to go up, and they were closing to her, but that was all on her. Really nice job turning her hands back into the court to get a block.
Shad-Series, the freshman from Canada, getting time on the outside with Orgel just playing in a defensive specialist role. She comes back from an ankle injury. Here is Orgel. Good diving play by Looper to keep it alive. Orgel counters with the dive for Wisconsin. Franklin has it blocked. Wisconsin still in the point. Smrek has it blocked back. It's Anna De Beer at the net, showing the defense.
Defense in the backcourt, defense in the front court, on both sides. Heck of a rally.
It started with Charity Looper chasing a ball down, and now a solo block. Anna De Beer on that left pin.
De Beer back to serve. Louisville and Wisconsin tied at 10, even at a set apiece here at the KFC Yum Center. Smrek up high, got the points for Wisconsin.
And that's a prime example of going high, because Smrek's point of contact is so high instead of going over and sealing the net.
Robinson. Serving at De Beer. Here's Looper. Glock sets the middle again for Cressy.
I would run her every single time the pass allowed.
Why not? And she's very good with that cross-body swing, which attacks the right back defender.
She's hitting 778, 7 for 9, 0 errors. Kind of a shame she has to go back and serve.
Let's see what she could do from the back. Oh, Cherry Looper put a little on nets for Louisville.
When Louisville transition attacks back at their opponent like this ball set a little bit off the net, but Charity Looper is so quick off the floor to attack that ball cross court.
Watches the tape, makes its way over.
Okay, Kara Cressy.
Told you she could do something other than just kill from the middle. Robbins at the net for Louisville. Out of the scramble, Wisconsin off the antenna, and a point for Louisville.
You see Charlie Furbringer not afraid to go against the grain. She was on the left side of the court and flung it back. That one goes too wide, but I love the ability to just change things up.
Good serve from Cressy. Looper read it well. Back for Robbins. Tough one for her in a tough spot. And it's a point for Wisconsin. And Kara Cressy has a hero's welcome on that Louisville bench as she comes off for the work she did.
Worth pointing out, Furbringer is now in the front row for Wisconsin, so she is a live attacker. We've seen her throw down once. We've also seen her attack approach as if she's going to hit on the second contact over.
Oh, Looper.
So Lane Kelly is Danny Busboom Kelly's husband. He was a long snapper at the University of Nebraska. That's when they met. He always asked Danny, you got any trick plays? You got any trick plays for me tonight? And that's
for him.
That's for him. Lane Kelly's going to absolutely love that tandem
She's
play.
thinking about that. Woo! I love a good X play. There's not enough anymore.
No, there's not.
What happened?
That's going to be long, and Louisville is on top 15-12 here in set number 3. Cards took set 2, trying to build a little momentum here in Louisville.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen.
We are back here in Louisville. Media timeout in the 3rd set with the Cards on top of the Badgers by 3 after they dropped set 1. Louisville came back to take set 2.
It seems like Louisville's doing a much better job in transition. They're getting in-system digs. They're getting free balls from Wisconsin, and they're being able to capitalize on those, Holly.
And they're also getting all their attackers involved, getting those middles, easy kills when they can.
Louisville to serve out of the media timeout with the freshman Cabello. Franklin hammers it home, point Wisconsin. (15-13) Cards with Franklin to serve. Looper called for it back. That's deflected back out of play, and it is Louisville ball. Louisville point. The ball, Louisville, it was Eric Ball, because I caught it. I was trying to do a lot there. Had a lot going on.
It is 11-14 after all.
It's 11-14.
You've been on the air for a while, buddy.
Furbringer. To Beer. Nope. That's going to be a point for Wisconsin.
Anna DeBeer aggressive in transition. She was 3 meters back and went for it, just missing it long, but she loves to take big swings.
Here is Guchtikin to serve for Wisconsin. Set for Kong. Robinson was ready. There's the Louisville attack on that Wisconsin block, and they can't find the answer. Wisconsin there defensively, and now the tide turning back towards the Badgers.
It also has to be frustrating as an attacker on Louisville's side, going at a block this big and this consistent time and time again. It makes getting points terminating really, really difficult.
Oh, DeBeer looked like she was lined up to get a point there for Louisville, but it was not to be, and Wisconsin has tied it at 16.
Yeah, guys, that last time timeout, Coach Kelly Sheffield looked at his team and he said that they're beating them off of the ground. So on the block, they really need to get over the net and get their hands up quick. He said they're bigger than them, so they really just need to press over the net so that they get a lot more touches on those balls.
Do you sometimes forget to use the size that you have the big advantage with?
Sometimes it's a reminder just to be disciplined, low and tight over the net. That's the most important move.
I think sometimes when you're too high, you're more of a target and you can be used tooling the block, right?
Okay.
As compared to when your hands are low and over and extended as far across the net as possible.
Scott serves for Louisville. That won't clear the net, and the point goes to the Cards.
Sarah Franklin trying to sneak that one to the short left part of the court, falls short.
Franklin. Point, Wisconsin.
Nice job by Furbringer. She's front row in that situation. She only had 2 attackers, so she brings Sarah Franklin up the middle on a bick. Keeps the defense honest, brings one more weapon into play there.
Freshman goes back to serve here in set 3. DeBeer. DeBeer again. Point Louisville.
Anna DeBeer working hard outside with the freshman setter. Danny Busboom-Kelly says, look, Anna DeBeer has great feet and she can adjust a little bit better when the set isn't in the exact location, and she's working hard tonight for Louisville.
You heard her after she got that kill. She said, come on, almost willing herself. I mean, you look at the stat line, it's not impressive from Anna DeBeer, but she's doing other things to impact this game. Blocking, serve, receive, serving extremely well.
8 digs. That service run in the second set was key when Louisville went on a 7-0 run with her serving.
And let's not forget, they're up a point in this set.
19-18 as we get late in set number 3. A late night in Louisville.
Hitters are all stacked on the left for Louisville.
So Cressy comes from the right.
I really think Ellie Glock deserves a lot of credit for getting Kara Cressy and Cece and Reese Robbins involved. She runs a quick one set just behind her. It's almost like a slide and a half, if you will.
A double quick, I like it. Puts so much pressure on the other side of the net defensively.
You're seeing some creativity from Ellie Glock with these 2 hitters in the front row.
Smrek off the block, point for Wisconsin.
Really nice response from Wisconsin. We're trading points here. We've been trading points for quite some time. It's going to be interesting to see who's able to go on a little bit of a run and pull away here to go up 2-1.
And quality serves are going to be at a premium here when you're exchanging points, and that one just missed, so it's a point for Louisville. We take a look at the Bolts replay. This one clearly out on the serve. Fourteen service errors now for Wisconsin. Franklin hammers it right down on Glock for the point.
Out of system bump set on a dime.
And turns the line.
Yes, and, well, Louisville gave her the line. Ellie Glock needs to step up and dig that ball. She's right on that line. I don't think most players have the range to hit that ball coming over your shoulder, turning it down the line so sharp.
So difficult to execute. So high level from Franklin.
Looper keeps it in play. DeBeer bumps it over. Franklin. Scott for Looper. Point Louisville. They say there was a touch on Wisconsin. Wisconsin says no touch. Kelly Sheffield making the slow walk over to the challenge card. He will show it, and we will go to replay to see if Wisconsin had a touch here on this attack by Louisville.
That's the second time Charity Looper's been certain there's a call, a touch on the other side of the net. This time, her coach's challenge.
So we'll take a look at the replay here.
I don't see anything there.
Remember, it was called a touch in real time. So that's a look from one of our cameras. We'll sprinkle in the Bolt 6 look as well. Here's what Bolt shows.
So they reverse the call. Kelly Sheffield vindicated.
So the call's overturned. Successful challenge by Wisconsin. And the Badgers set to serve. Looper hangs in the air. Gets the point. Wisconsin thought they kept it up, but it was called that it was down, so it's a point for Louisville. Back up by 1.
Huge challenge, though, there for Wisconsin. I mean, we'll think back to that in this set.
Here's Cabello. Oh, big moment there, the overpass. Kong takes advantage. Louisville 2 points away from taking the set.
Service pressure creating point scoring opportunities. PK joins the party, number 10 in white. Easy kill at the net on the overpass.
Timeout called by Wisconsin, with Louisville 2 points away from going up 2-1.
I want to take you back to what was an electric play that we saw, not something that we get to see often in college volleyball. They're called X-plays, crisscrosses, tandem plays, whatever you want to call it. Charity Looper comes behind Pekrin Kong. Pekrin Kong's on a quick ball, so your eyes go there, but right behind her, this kind of tandem set goes to Charity Looper, and she beats the block because they jumped with PK, and Danny Buscon-Kelly absolutely loved it. Executed to perfection, Holly.
And we talked about it with the 6-2, and you've got a middle attacker who likes to run behind. You can run your right-sider on a little push, too, and you always have open net. I don't know why coaches don't use it anymore. Let's bring it back, coaches.
Why do you think it's just difficult to execute?
Well, it's hard to track because you're taking a step with the quick hitter, and then the hitter comes flying across, and usually it's one-on-one in the middle. And it's hard to defend out of the middle one-on-one.
I love that Louisville pulled it out of the playbook on night number 1 of the season.
That was a 3 and a 2, right? But
yes,
it was
3 and a 2.
Yeah, it was a combo play, and we need more.
But as a middle blocker, you see somebody coming in your zone of the net, so you're automatically going to jump with them, and that's what Wisconsin did. Unbeknownst to them, Charity Looper is running right behind PK, ready to approach and attack that 2-ball.
Franklin gets a point for Wisconsin, bringing the Badgers back within 1.
Really good response right out of the timeout. I think Sarah Franklin, you mentioned in match 1, having all the tools. She can go power, she can go cross court, she can mix in tips, and then she's got that off-speed shot that's really hard to track as a blocker.
Cooper. Franklin, oh, clock. Got the arm up just in time. Orgel on the attack. She's up in the front row right now. And a point for Wisconsin. Back-to-back points for the Badgers.
And that's interesting because we expected Orgel only to play in the back row as a defensive specialist because she's coming off of an injury. We didn't expect her to take any swings in the front row.
No, but she's working back, and Kelly Sheffield knows he can use her when he needs to.
Timeout called by Louisville. We are now tied at 23. Cardinals highlight the Week 1 college football schedule on the ACC Network on Saturday. They lead off the day taking on Austin Peay at noon Eastern. Then Syracuse host Ohio U, and fresh off their big upset of Florida State in Ireland, Georgia Tech back in action to take on Georgia State. All this Saturday on the ACC network. Back-to-back points for Wisconsin. Timeout for Louisville. Let's listen in on their huddle.
But they're going to force a lot more kicks than setting her out of system right now. So if you're there on the pitch, 2 or 3 blockers is okay. Our back row can read that off speed. She wants the bomb. That's not her game. So just again, let's stay home for Vic and not get upset.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
Good information there. Dan Meske telling his team, hey, let's be disciplined, trying to stop the power. Sarah Franklin hitting that Vic, and Charlie Furbringer likes to set that ball to her in the back row.
And I always think it's interesting hearing a lot in timeouts from an assistant coach. Just like football, you have an offensive coordinator, you have a defensive coordinator. Dan Meske is in charge of Louisville's scout. So in huddles during timeouts, you hear a lot from Dan Meske talking to the girls as compared to maybe Danny Busby Kelly, the head coach.
Franklin serves to Looper. Wisconsin a chance to take the lead, but Kong is there at the net to deny that opportunity. And Louisville has a set point.
PK is long and getting involved in this game defensively with a huge timely stop for Louisville.
Looper serving for the set. Catches the tape. And then a big rip from the right side, Carter Booth.
It's a big play from Carter Booth. You just go up for a tip, get stuffed, and then you come right back and get a much-needed, necessary kill for your team behind the setter on a slide. Gutsy play.
Gooch to Kim. Set for De Beer. Set point number 2 for the Cards.
De Beer pointed at her freshman setter, told her she liked it. Can they close it out?
Elena Scott serving for the set. Oh, what a play by Robinson just to keep it alive, but only for a second. And Louisville has won back-to-back sets here on their home floor, the AFC Yum Center. 26-4 the score in set 3. And it's loud here in Louisville. Late nights in downtown Louisville. The Cards up 2 sets to 1.
Welcome to the American Volleyball Coaches Association.
For Nebraska, you are signed for the whole state.
We did it!
And you better be ready to wear that N, because it's a lot of weight.
When we're done here tonight at the KFC Yum Center, you can see no place like Nebraska. It's streaming now on ESPN Plus, but we'll show it tonight here on ESPN2 as well. Set 1 was all Wisconsin. They won by 7. Was not looking good for Louisville. What has changed for the Cardinals since that first set?
I think Louisville's really settled in and started playing towards their DNA, which they're a great defensive team. They're keeping a lot of balls off the floor. I think they're also covering extremely well. You know you're going to get blocked time and time again by Wisconsin, just given the sheer size. But they're doing a nice job playing out of that, recycling, getting more swings.
And I think they got more hitters involved. That takes the pressure off the pins, more players scoring.
Looper leading the way with 8 kills. Cressy also with 8 kills. De Beer with 7. Maldonado with 6 kills. And Reese Robbins with 4. First point of the 4th set. Smrek missed the mark. And Louisville takes point 1.
And that was a heads-up play by Louisville's backcourt because Kara Cressy actually touched the ball as it came over, and that's a moment where we're like, no, just leave it to the backcourt players. But a good job by Ellie Glock sending that ball over.
De Beer, she's been the consistent one on the serve tonight for the Cards. It's been a big issue, too, with 14 service errors for Wisconsin, fueling this Louisville run. 14-7 now the total for the two teams. has it blocked back, but out of play. Point for the Badgers. 2-1 Wisconsin.
And Kara Cressy, as she closes the block, her hips, her shoulders are facing outside the court of play, and that's exactly where the ball goes off her hands.
Orgel. Robbins off hands. That worked out well for Louisville. Didn't look like it had much promise, but it's a point for the Cards. Tied at 2.
It looked like Reese Robbins was in trouble, but she took a big swing going high off the hands, and that's one of the benefits of having a big block across the net. You've got big surface area to tool.
A combined 16 kills for the Louisville Middles here in the season opener. Go to the outside to Looper. Franklin. Dug out by DeBeer. Set back for Robbins, who put a lot on that one and gets the point for the Cards. Reese Robbins really came on at the end of last season. The 6'5" now sophomore from Mansfield, Texas. Really showed she could play, and she's showing that here in the opener as well.
And you can tell the crowd, the Louisville fans, love her. You know, sometimes you just have a player that really resonates, and there's a great back and forth with the crowd, and anytime she steps on the floor and does something, the crowd's all over it.
Kong and Robbins there on the block, teaming up again. Set for Kong. Furbringer to Franklin. Oh, miscommunication. Looked like perhaps Smrek was called off by Damrow. At least she thought she heard.
Well, to be fair, Damrow did call her off, and if you're going to call her off, you got to finish the play, and Damrow unfortunately just hesitated.
4-2 Louisville. It's opening night. There's going to be mistakes from the service line. It's opening night.
Right on.
There's going to be mistakes from the service line. And Kelly Sheffield has said, we have used our service line mistake quota for the month of September as well as the rest of the night here in August. Orgel saved it, bouncing around, still controlled by Wisconsin. Miscommunication for the moment for Louisville, but they're still in it. Franklin off hands. DeBeer. Looper. Big swing from Charity Looper. Point Louisville.
We went from disjointed play, Holly, to really good finishing play.
It happens quickly, doesn't it? Timeout called by Wisconsin.
Check out PK. You see this, she sets it up with defense, and then Charity Looper, exclamation point on the left.
If there's a chance for...
I can understand our younger players, but this is our older players right here, right? It's a free ball that you're over there, not moving and covering you inside a 10-foot line, right? I mean, it's just hectic over there, right? You're allowing them to dictate the tempo because of our lack of ball control here, right? Let's lock in here and play together here, all right? Come on, let's go.
I love what he says there. I'm talking to my older players. You guys have been here before. You played in national semifinals, national championship games. We're letting free balls get us out of rhythm and out of sorts. Buckle in and stop letting Louisville dictate the tempo of the game, because right now Wisconsin feels like they're very reactive, Holly.
Agreed. I think they're playing behind in most plays, playing on the defensive side.
That's a point for Wisconsin, touch by Louisville. It is an interesting mix for this Wisconsin team of older players and young players, and not much in between. There's the replay, there's out, but there was a touch called on Louisville. So it's a point for Wisconsin. Sheffield said the older players are like Sherpas trying to lead the younger ones up the mountain right now, but it's interesting that comment there in that huddle about pointed at his older players.
And when you look at the court, I mean, you've got Charlie Furbringer, who's a freshman, and then you've also got Sage Damrow, who comes on. She's a redshirt freshman. Lola Schumacher's also a freshman, so you've got your setter and your DSs and one of your Libros that are younger, and all your attackers, for the most part, are older veteran players.
Another point for the Cardinals on top by 4. You can see a lot of young players, not a lot in between. 8 freshmen, 6 seniors, and then just 2 sophomores and juniors for this Wisconsin team. Now, granted, the freshman's pretty good. Furbringer has had a great debut here, and she sets one of those seniors, Sarah Franklin, for a needed point from Wisconsin.
And I like the response by Lola Schumacher. She's in there as a DS in the serving pass serve receive rotation. After getting a, she responds.
Franklin to DeBeer. DeBeer resets, and then the block. Carter Booth and Furbringer at the net to team up, and there's the Wisconsin block that seems to have gone away a little bit until that point.
The more you can block for points, the more you're going to put Louisville on the back heel on the defensive and switch the tempo of this game.
This one is off the block, the point for Louisville.
And Maldonado Diaz able to tool it off the block. They went fast to that right pin, which gave her some moving hands to attack on the other side of the net.
And a nice job by Cabello mixing it up, because I feel like she's been a little bit outside to the left side heavy. Nice seeing her mix in other pieces other than Anna DeBeer.
8th kill for Maldonado Diaz. Goes to DeBeer. Goes to Maldonado Diaz and gets the point. (10-6) Louisville. They win this set, the match is over. Scott to Franklin. Franklin dug out by Scott. Point, Wisconsin.
Carter Booth stays aggressive. That's a tough ball to play. She had to move her feet laterally, get there, and stay aggressive above the net.
It's almost as if Louisville made the dig on the harder attack than the one that was easily controlled.
Oh, Kuchtikin came flying in to keep it alive. Cressy.
She needs to get her a little bit higher if she's going to be able to actually take a swing.
Tough set there. Mistake by Louisville and a point for Wisconsin.
And these are growing pains that you have with true freshman setters, right? The location's not always going to be exactly on point. Sometimes you're going to leave a ball a little bit too low for someone like Kara Cressy, who's 6'6". That is the growing pains and the evolution. The more reps, the better you get.
And you're getting those reps tonight against
the number 3 team in the country, by the way.
Team that's on the short list to compete for a national championship in Wisconsin. Good response there by Louisville to get the point back.
Look at this pass from Elena Scott right in her setter's hands, and then big seam in the block. Anna DeBeer goes to work on the left pin. Look at her get on this ball quick.
DeBeer now with 9 kills. Looper leading the way with 10 for Louisville. Franklin with 15 kills to pace Wisconsin. Point for the Badgers. Down by 2.
Nice job by Trinity Shad-Series tracking that ball. It was out of system, a little bit hung inside. She comes all the way in. Really nice job getting her feet there.
Furbringer back to serve for Wisconsin. DeBeer with the quick reset. But that missed the mark. Danny Busboom-Kelly is up. Wondering if there should be a challenge here.
Ellie Glock turned and said, touch, touch, touch. And Anna DeBeer said, no, there was no touch on that.
Okay. That one goes long. Service error again for Wisconsin. That's their 16th of the night.
Wisconsin is stacked on the left side of the court. Watch possible double quick from Robinson and Smrek.
DeBeer from the back row. No touch. Point for Wisconsin.
DeBeer taking some big swings, couple of hitting errors back to back.
Orzel. Robbins denied. Wisconsin has come back to tie it at 12.
And good disciplined block by Wisconsin.
Well, if you're going to go on a run, this is the front row that you want. Devin Robinson, Anna Smrek, Sarah Franklin.
Berberger kept it alive here as Smrek. There they are at the front. Big advantage right now. Great point there with this rotation for Wisconsin, how things are set up with Orzel serving so good, and then that big front line.
And just unfortunate, I understand Ellie Glock wants to get Kara Cressy the ball, but the pass dictated that you set her up right in front of two massive blockers. You got to recognize that you got to send that to a pin in that instance.
And especially because she's established the middle, now
they know it's coming.
Exactly, and then you can go to the pin.
Looper comes through with the point for Louisville to stop the 3-0 run for Wisconsin. Fourth set here at the KFC Yum Center. Opening night of the 2024 college volleyball season. Louisville and Wisconsin in a tight one, and Reese Robbins gets the point for the Cards. They're back in front.
Because of the service pressure, Louisville was ahead, and Wisconsin was reacting. They get a free ball, and then Reese Robbins on that right side, attack back quick.
Cressy goes long with the serve, gives a point to Wisconsin to tie it at 14. Devin Robinson to serve for the Badgers. Took set one with ease. Louisville took sets 2 and 3. Franklin with the kill. That's 16 for Sarah Franklin.
How about Carter Booth covering Sarah Franklin on that play, giving her that opportunity. Look at the coverage. Good scoop under that ball to lift it, and Sarah Franklin gets another shot at it.
Smrek.
Over her shoulder.
Looper. Oh, big block. Wisconsin, that size is so impressive. They use it well there to get the point to go up by 2.
Anna Smrek for Wisconsin just smothers this ball. She was locked in, and watch her hand penetration over the net. Nowhere to go.
I mean, it's a great set. It's a good swing for all purposes. It has to be frustrating having to go against that time and time again and having to be creative, trying to find ways to beat Anna Smrek. But a really nice response from Wisconsin, Eric.
Absolutely. Timeout called by Louisville to try to slow down this Wisconsin run. It's another 3-0 run for the Badgers. A reminder what's coming up on the football field this Labor Day weekend. It starts Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Colorado and North Dakota State. Continues Friday on ESPN. 3 games Saturday on ABC starting at noon Eastern time, Clemson and Georgia. And then on Sunday, USC and LSU go head-to-head 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. All coming up Labor Day weekend. Charity Looper setting the pace for the Cards. Kills 30 swings. Anna DeBeer with a team-high 37 swings, but she's hitting negative here. Wisconsin's had an answer for her defensively tonight. Sarah Franklin leading all players with 16 kills. And right now, it just feels like Wisconsin is starting to take a little bit of a firmer grip on this match. It's only a 2-point lead for Wisconsin, and they're down a set, but just feels like things are building in their direction right now.
Well, one of the biggest ways to change momentum in something that Wisconsin does so extremely well is block, which is what Louisville does so well to other teams. You can take a team out by the way that you block.
Great response out of the timeout from Louisville. They get the point from Kong, and they're back within 1.
And PK had some room to attack between the 2 blockers. She wasn't running her route right into a Wisconsin blocker, and that helped create some space.
Set to Franklin. Kong. That's still up. Good defensive play by Wisconsin. That was Damro. Looper. Orgel dug it. Franklin swings. Looper. Damro. Smrek off the net. Looper denied by Booth and Smrek. Orgel keeps it going. Franklin blocked down. Smrek blocked. Point. Louisville.
What a rally. Both sides.
Incredible plays on both sides of the net. You see the coverage, but PK and Charity Looper get over and shut it down. Anna Smrek on the right side.
Franklin gets the kill.
Really nice job siding out immediately. Sarah Franklin turns that ball down the line, uses high hands.
Anna DeBeer is still down and grabbing for her toes, which may indicate some cramping here. We are approaching midnight Eastern time. Our first match of the night between Nebraska and Kentucky started at 7 o'clock Eastern time. It was a 4-setter, so these teams started later than normal. Looper is cramping as well. And Elena Scott is going to...
Athletic trainer, Elena Scott.
Apparently so.
Very versatile.
She's working on it.
We've seen it all tonight.
We have. We've seen a lot.
We've got double cramping situation going on right now in the spot where we had the gum stuck to the floor earlier.
Don't remind us about the gum.
I thought that's what she was referring to. Here is Christine.
Yeah, not at all surprised that Looper is possibly cramping right now. She looked towards the bench before the last timeout, and she told them, I need some salt. So that's exactly what she got during the last timeout. Also, Anna seemed to have a little pain in her lower back between sets 2 and 3. They pulled out the Theragun and worked on it a little bit, and she was right back out there. She said she still feels it, but she's okay.
That's great stuff, Christine. And the longer the match goes, I mean, the tighter your body gets. This is also later than most of these teams and players are used to playing. All of that is taken into account.
And by the way, it's the first match of the season. We talked about the very start. You start in the fast lane in college volleyball, and this one's going late.
And when the other team is cramping, make your serve. Just saying.
Holly's 101. She ain't
Words
wrong.
to live by. 17-17 in the fourth. Franklin tied to turn it down the line, turned it too wide. It's a point for Louisville. We had Looper cramping, DeBeer cramping. They're both still on the floor. Franklin. You wonder how much lift there is in the legs of players who are cramping. These are two of your most athletic players on the outside of DeBeer and Looper.
Well, the longer a match goes, it's only natural. Fatigue sets in. Your vert starts diminishing. Not drastically, but you start contacting at a lower point. When you're going against a team that is so big.
With this size.
Yes, even when they're not jumping at their highest, they're still unbelievably high. So you'd think that Wisconsin has the advantage in terms of how high the game's being played at as the match continues on.
DeBeer got enough on that one. Wisconsin couldn't handle it. It's a point for Louisville. 19-18 Cards. There's a pause here for a moment for them to check the Bolt 6 technology to see if it's in or out, and the call is in. We still have a little drama here with this technology.
I kind of like the delay reaction from the official. I know obviously she was waiting for the Bolt 6, but it added to the drama and the response from everybody who's still hanging at the KFC Center.
Danny Busboom Kelly told us about Elena Scott really working on her serve, adding the pace. Location there, perfect.
Timeout called by Wisconsin. Their final timeout. Let's listen in.
Go A here. So all the way there instead of, all right. What's this server doing? Okay. Hey, we talked about last set about finishing strong, right? So this is where we want to be. All right, get up there, take that ball high. Okay, edges of the block with our attacking. All right, confidence.
I like the way that Kelly Sheffield handles his huddles. He asks questions. He gets feedback from his veteran players. You heard Sarah Franklin. She was very vocal in that timeout. It keeps them engaged. It keeps them a part of it. They take ownership and responsibility of what's taking place on the court.
It's interactive, and exactly what you said, ownership. He learned that from last year's team, that they need to take more ownership. And you see that there. Sarah Franklin said, hey, this is what the server's doing, and they have a chance to respond.
Cardinals trying to end the match here by taking this fourth set. Here is Elena Scott. Good serve. Really good serve. Free ball for Louisville. And a point for Louisville.
It starts from the service line. Elena Scott getting Wisconsin a little out of system, and they play behind, and Louisville is on the attack.
Booth just enough to find the open spot to get the point for Wisconsin.
You're always told as a defender in the back row, no matter where you are on the court, as soon as the attacker is about to make contact, you need to stop your feet. Cabello, unfortunately, was still running and moving, and so she was unable to get to that throwdown by Booth. Even if you're out of position, stop your feet, Eric.
Charlie Furbringer's off the court. Depending on who digs the ball, right back, or Gucci will set in transition.
And they got what they want out of it. We didn't actually get to see who was going to be the setter for Wisconsin, but Kelly Sheffield told us situationally they would remove their setter from the court so CeCe Crawford could come in and be a blocking substitution.
Kuchkin. Off the block. Point for Louisville.
I would have Kuchkin set it.
Well, I asked him what would happen. He said, depending on who digs the ball, either right back or
left back
or the bro. Charlie Furbringer back on the floor for Wisconsin. She's in the front row. 2 hitters stacked on the left.
Block with the serve for Louisville. Furbringer sends it back to Robinson, and the block by the Cardinals. They've been out-blocked in this match by Wisconsin, but in a big moment, the Louisville block came through.
But in this rotation, you have to know that Devin Robinson's going to get the ball.
Really nice job by Cressy tracking that slide.
Good serve by Glock. Franklin off balance on the attack. Robbins drops it in. Match point Louisville. Season at home with the victory over Wisconsin.